Hey, everybody. I hope you're all well as you celebrate the alumni and careers that blossomed from your very school district. My name is Mike Strain. I'm a 2018 GMHS graduate. I'm an upcoming 2023 Kutztown University graduate who majored in communication design with a focus on illustration and who has done design in advertising, graphic design, and UX design, as well as fine arts such as ceramics and printmaking. While I may still be working to find the first job of my pro career, I can at least use my experience at Kutztown to advertise the immeasurable creative, social, and emotional benefits any art school will provide you as you move forward with your passions, as well as quickly detail the process you'd learn to a T throughout all KUCD courses necessary for a successful project. When I was in the high school art courses you guys currently reside in, I drew exclusively with pen and ink. I had zero digital footprint or even an intention of working digitally. I knew that I loved to draw with particular movement, texture, and color, but I had no idea where my style may head over time, or especially how to translate it into a professional atmosphere. Kutztown and its communication design program took me from the work you see here, terribly scanned, messily drawn, and considerably flat, to the personal work and classwork of these next few slides. My progress in things as simple as line work and as complicated as integrated branding came exclusively from the dynamic classes, co-eds, and professors who quickly became trusted, beloved mentors whose guidance, critique, and love has pushed me to a creative place I never quite thought I'd reach when I was sitting anxious and awkwardly in your shoes. For those inexperienced with digital art making, closely associated with Adobe programming, nor work that isn't more complicated than putting feelings onto paper, I can guarantee you that as long as you're paying attention and putting in the work college requires, you'll know Adobe Illustrator and InDesign before you're done. Other than this quick, crowded slide of work, not much of my or your work done in even the first 3 full years of KUCD may be good enough to show on your eventual portfolio site, but without all of these learning experiences seen here, the best, most informed work of your final year plus wouldn't be possible. Our communication design program forces your hand at various art disciplines, yet always allows the freedom to attack them with whatever focused passion you have, as well as the opportunity to take the fine art classes that are breaths of fresh air among communication design work, such as the ceramics and printmaking, like I mentioned, but also courses like life drawing. In my experience, my professors were always willing and excited to let my illustrations sneak their way into any given project as best fit, just as they would allow whatever you're most passionate about to be the basis for your work. For advertising, as seen here, I was able to illustrate characters to pair with copywriting and design skills taught in these classes to make projects like a Fruit Gushers campaign and a non-for-profit anti-smoking social media campaign seen here in mockup. Graphic design courses whose projects flow from nonfiction graphic novel, as seen here, to emotionally based album package design, seen here, as well as merchandise, to horror Airbnb magalog design. I believe this project has 8 interior spreads, similar to the one you see on the right there, to Major League Baseball editorial article design, et cetera, et cetera. These projects always started with concepts and sketches seeped in the illustration I only improved by learning the ins and outs of this major, simply through time spent working, adjusting, and finalizing designs with the help of all those around me. There's been nothing more satisfying than watching the many close friends I've made here develop alongside me. We all certainly have. There's also an integrated branding class, a huge checkpoint in our program here that requires out-of-home advertising design, package design, and even interactive designs like websites and social media filters. I can't say enough about how any and all of these classes give you every opportunity to make projects about really what you want. Having seen the results of courses, but not the process to reach them, you may be as overwhelmed by the assumed nightmarish amount of work for any given class as I was sitting in on presentations much like this back in the old days. Quickly, I want to take you through the top-notch process we work through here, always spread out over a minimum of 8 weeks. The project I'm using as an example is a series of editorial designs for New York Times kids about germs. Before putting pencil to paper, you must collect a world of imagery relating to the style and content of your work. In terms of style, mood boards should be created specific to the styles of inspirational artists, usually through convenient sites like Pinterest. For this project, I included artists who illustrate physically for line work and color and apply texture digitally, like my own method. And in terms of content, as you see here, I gathered real microscopic photography of germ types for inspiration straight from the natural source. Given the history of design within actual New York Times kids publications, I felt it best to deliver a fun, brightly colored cover illustration featuring featuring a character sick from the incumbent subject matter, whose never-ending snot makes up the headline typography. The initial plan was to include information on the inside, which introduces general germs, specific types, the places they are found, and whether beneficial germs exist. Then starts the multi-step thumbnailing process, which are sets of small but to scale illustrations, which are really, really important for fine-tuning composition and design elements to decide on a concrete concept. As each set is made, it is also critiqued and bettered until everyone involved is comfy moving into the final art making. Using the art making process you're most confident in, you go through the process of creating physically and transitioning onto screen or vice versa, and then using the benefits of digital design to make whatever many little changes are necessary to strengthen your piece. I drew the base art, cover, and inside to scale physically with pen and ink, and then I scanned in each piece and moved them into proper place and colored them and applied texture, making various changes over time and through the course of class conversation to come up with the work ready for final presentation that you see right here, adding things over time like patterns to the background and adding in all of the body copy in programming like Adobe InDesign. In terms of the final step of professional presentation, realistic product mockups are necessary to truly deliver the purpose and message of the project. KUCD provides free access to a massive library of files so that any project can be given a seemingly photographed sheen. Then with every piece of the project finished, for use on my portfolio website, which you will also create as part of the program, which is a really fun experience. You make a lengthy presentation where all of the in-progress work stands to prove that you can work through the same process expected in any professional design firm. And that's our process here. If I leave you with one message, it's just not to be scared. No one in your position should know a fraction of what I do now. I certainly did not. I didn't think my style would evolve or manipulate to fit a much broader range of personal or professional work. But on top of the blissful freedom and beautiful relationships that come from the college experience, it did tenfold, like all of yours will too. Thanks for listening. And if you have any questions or concerns about your next step or my experience, feel free to reach out through either my Instagram or website as seen here. Regardless of the path you take after leaving Mifflin, just keep on making art for the world to see because that's all we can do.